Are we live? We've been having so many issues. I just need to know, are we live? Are we live into his hour?
Alrighty, everybody. Minister BROTHADERRICK here. I just want to do this real quick. It's 4:39. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's just go ahead and get this. I'm going to drop it for you. Stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Jesus put an offer on the table. And everyone out there is now able to come home with God in your heart. You're never alone if you believe me. You don't need that weed. Give Jesus a hug and put down the rug. Victory over death is already won. So why are you picking up that gun? If your spirit is activated and faith, why do you need that alcoholic drink? Because the devil tells you, he fools you. But the minister is here to school you. I'm here to preach. I'm here to teach. It is you I'm trying to reach through this song that I composed. When Jesus comes back, only God knows. Are you ready or are you sitting heaven?
How's the volume? Can you hear me?
Are you ready or are you sitting heaven? You won't be if you follow me. Alright, come on with it now. Oh God, what can I say about thee? You still love us sinners and you offer your grace for free. I'm not worthy, but you still search me out of a life of sin. And with Jesus' help, I know I can win. I love serving my Lord. He opens the door to a relationship with God. This is the only way in the name of Jesus. I always pray and I lay myself as a footstool for the lost demons. I know that, for it's not true to be a believer, but I'm not with my soul in the hands of the deceiver, a wicked devil who brings nothing but trouble. I put my desires in ice and on for reaching paradise. A day with no pain, no stress. You gave me the way, and now I'm blessed. You can test me, let the devil trust me. But baby, hell is one place I don't want to see.
So stop, look, and listen.
Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way.
Why the monetization off? Why you cheating?
Are you ready or are you sitting heaven? Stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way.
Turn my monetization off.
Minister,
I don't understand it.
I hope y'all enjoyed that. Peace, everyone. This is Minister BROTHADERRICK. I'm coming at y'all real. And that's what I do.
Alright. Audio has more than 2 channels, but only 1 mono or stereo channels are allowed. That's right. We in 5.1. And I'm going to test it on my system when I get off of here. I know we on here late. But it's okay that we on here late. It's not what time you do it, it's that you do it. Any time is a good time to study and learn about Jesus and God. There is no certain time of the day. So if y'all want to come, hang with us, then come on. And if not, hey, go watch your demon-inspired content. I went through a lot to get this running today. Y'all know I gave y'all 11 hours of content yesterday. I didn't go to bed until 2:30 this afternoon. And that's why I'm on so late. But when I woke up, Xfinity upgraded me from 5 gigabyte upload to 10 gigabyte. I only need 5 gigabyte, actually 4.35 gigabytes to do 2K. The new OBS updates won't let me do it, so I'm probably gonna have to get an old version. We on 27.1.3. I might have to go down. But I went into the settings and they're supposed to re-encode it at 2K. So did they re-encode it? Nope, it's at 1080p. I'm not happy about that. But we'll fix it. I think we're doing 48 frames a second. I had to check and see. We might be doing 30. I kept changing my mind, but I'm not happy about that. Oh, it's not here. Oh, that's recording. Where's streaming? Right now. Let me show y'all something real quick. Where's Windows Media? Let me take y'all into the settings. Oh, now it's not responding. There it is. Y'all can see under video, they won't let us do 2560 by 1440. They don't let us do 1920 by 1080, which is full HD. They won't let me go higher in these new versions, so we had to go back to our old version. But you go to output. I got it on rescale, 2560 to 1440. You can see that. So it's supposed to be re-encoding it and pushing it up. But I just looked and it said only 19, so we got to find out what's going on there. But I wanted y'all to see that. You see the check. Rescale output to 2560 to 1440. It's not doing it. So y'all can see right here, it's 1920 by 1080. I'm not happy about that. You go to audio, 48 gigahertz, 5.1. So channels are 5.1. For those of you that are saying, what do you mean 5.1?
I just want to say that I love
Well, let me tell you something.
And that's the title of this song.
Go to output, go to audio. We ain't doing a bit rate of 128. We're not doing a bit rate of 160. We're doing a bit rate of 1024. And that's channel track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4, track 5, track 6. They all 1024. And if you look on the recording, you see 6 is checked.
Can't get enough.
So we got 6 audio tracks.
Well, people say to keep it real.
All at 1024 bit, not 128.
If you're not born again, your future is in doubt. Your body wasn't made to last. When your time comes, it will be reduced to ash. Your flesh will rot, but your light will not. You know your soul will go on forever, so you better realize that you need God, or you will be surprised by the pain of a flame that never goes out. The pits of hell, where the heat swells up, there's no relief, not for a moment of peace. The agony and cries never cease, and someone in the background singing, "Burn, baby, burn. This isn't normal. Burn, baby, burn. I'm gonna walk in inferno." But seriously though, this will happen. If Jesus comes back,
I love you, Jesus.
No one knows the time of day. But if you follow the word, it won't matter either.
I love you,
because
Jesus.
in heaven, no one will ever be sick or shed a tear. So in this round, I show no fear. What you gonna do? Kill me? Make me a martyr? Give me a head start? Put me on the fast track? So keep macking, keep stacking, keep on shacking up, but get caught napping.
I love you, Jesus.
And I just want to say, I love you, Jesus. Follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Don't let that devil deceive us.
I love you, Jesus.
If you think that witnessing to your neighbors is weird. Think of foreign countries with statues of idols are revered. Nations of people who don't know God. Only mythical characters like a parallel.
I love you,
Most
Jesus.
Americans believe in one Lord, one superior being. Christians
I
should be
love
strong
you,
of soul like men,
Jesus.
but we spend our time fulfilling the desires of our flesh. We won't give Jesus our best effort, but we ask for blessings that we don't deserve. And you wonder why our prayers are not heard. In church, you put down those you really admire.
I love you, Jesus.
You know you have a desire to make that easy money. Drive the fancy car. You feel like a star. When you enter the bars or clubs, deep down, your spirit isn't for God or His ways. So why should anybody listen to a darn thing you say? I love you, Jesus. Follow you wherever you lead us.
I love you, Jesus. Hey.
I love you, Jesus. Don't let the devil deceive us.
I love you, Jesus.
I love you, Jesus. We'll follow you wherever you lead us.
I love you, Jesus.
Let the Holy Spirit feed us. And one more time. I love you, Jesus. All right, y'all, let's get it. Let's get to the Bible study. The minister, Brother Derrick Show. Let's get it.
Well, let's get it.
All right, everybody.
I told you to pause, man. All righty. Like I said, let's get it. Can y'all hear me? Somebody let me know. Am I coming through loud and clear? Because even though it's 1:31 in the morning, we ain't worried about that. We got Bible study to do. Whether it's 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, the word needs to go out. And it's my job to dispense the word. It's your job to take with it and do what you will. I can't tell you what to do. I can only advise you. Some of you are going to keep doing the things you're going to be doing, and some of you going to wind up in the lake of fire, and that's all it is to it. Some of you love the things that Jesus and God hate. Some of you don't love yourselves. And I always say, if you don't love yourself, you sure can't love nobody else. For everybody who says, my life would be better if I had this. My life would be better if I looked like this. Your life is what you make of it. Sitting around, moaning and groaning, whining about what you don't have, wishing, doesn't change anything. Jesus said so himself. Worrying doesn't do anything to change your situation. And be honest, how has worrying ever changed your situation? I'm just asking you. When has worrying about something ever changed your situation? You got the same problems that you had before, except you spent all this time worrying about them. Trust Jesus and God to help you through it. And people think that they should just sit back and wait for Jesus and God to help them through it. There are people who really believe that. All they got to do is just sit back and wait. But ask them for ways, things that you can do to improve your situation rather than get worried and be bothered. Because somebody that's worrisome and bothersome isn't good for anybody. If your rent is late and your husband is out there busting his butt trying to make the money, how does you calling him every minute? Did you make it yet? Did you get it yet? How does that help him while he's out there trying to get the money together? How does when your child that's struggling in math is studying and trying his hardest to do the best he can, and you keep coming in there, oh, you dummy, you ain't got it yet? Well, you sure is stupid. You're the dumbest person in the family. It's so simple. Well, it's simple to you. It ain't simple to him. How does you making him feel worse about a situation? How does that make him feel better? You kill a child's self-esteem and you really stop them from trying because you're telling them, try all you might. You're not going to succeed. Let that marinate. Let that marinate for a minute. Try all you can. It ain't going to do you a bit of good. You sorry. Look at you. 2 plus 2 is 4. You can't get that. God darn, use your finger. What's the matter with you? When you tell somebody they ain't nothing, those that are not strong will start to believe it and they'll give up and stop trying. So, do we affect each other? Yes, we do. A lot of the times people say stuff out their mouth without thinking. They just say it on the cuff because they think it's funny or they think it's cool. But you actually can break somebody down. Physical wounds heal within a month or two. Mental injuries last a lifetime. Somebody could say something about you when you're 2 years old and you could be 50 and it's still going through your head. Yeah, but mom told me when I was 2 I wasn't going to be nothing, and looks like I ain't going to be nothing. There are men who've been told they balding that spend thousands of dollars on hair care treatment. There are women who are told their butts ain't big enough, and they spend thousands putting stuff in their behind trying to make it bigger. Women getting breast jobs and putting saline bags in their chest because somebody told them that their breasts were too small. You got women that's told your breasts too big and they getting breast reductions. So when somebody say, are you your brother's keeper? Yes, you are. Because what you say to somebody can change their life in a positive or a negative way. Positive or negative way. And things that you say today could be reverberating in their head years later. How many women are at the gym every day? They ain't got their bodies tight, muscles, almost looking like men, and they still think they fat because somebody told them that they were fat. How many men spend thousands of dollars trying to get something to enlarge their penis because somebody told them, you got a little wiener. When you say things without thinking, you mess up a lot of people's minds. When I talked to a doctor and he said after the first 4 inches of a woman's vagina, there are no nerve endings. It's a psychological thing. The majority of the nerves is in the first 2 inches. But after 4 inches, it's nothing but skin, dead skin. There's nothing there. So what do you need? Something to hit. You can bring a woman off with your fingertip. But see, you let people make you believe something that is not a fact. And you carry it around and you dedicate your life to saying, I'm going to find a way. There's got to be something out there that'll let me be acceptable to this person. Why do you care what that person says when they don't know what the hell they talking about? That's one thing I'll never understand. You know, somebody sent me a link today about some people in the roast sector, and I was just looking at the chat. I hadn't looked at a video in a while. And to see the ignorant, stupid people that was in that chat, and they hear the stupid comments that make no sense at all. But to those people, I said, man, I don't miss being involved in this. I understood why it was so easy to break people down. They already broke down. You basically just kicking them. They already down. Why are you still kicking them? But these people are down, and instead of trying to get up, they want to get off on making somebody else feel as bad as they do. Nobody that is trying to do something would bother to watch that stuff. Nobody that has any goals would bother to watch that stuff. If you find yourself watching that stuff, why? Ask yourself why. Nobody in there is trying to build anybody up. They're trying to tear each other down. I don't want to be around people that's satisfied to stay down. I'm a fighter. I fight to get back up. If I kept the same attitude as some of these people, I would still be where I was in November 2017. I would still be there. I would still be using the same Obama phone to go live with. I would still be walking, dreading to walk to make it to the market or the pharmacy. A walk that used to take me an hour literally takes me 5 minutes now. But if I had listened to other people, the fact that I can ride through the eastern half of my city from beginning to end, whereas before I could only go as far as I could walk. The 0.9 mile walk to the market, the 1 mile walk to the pharmacy. I had 5 designated places of rest. When I fly by them places of rest at 22 miles per hour, they nothing but a memory, a reminder of where you came from and how you still going. But if I kept the same attitude, I would still be walking. I remember having to carry bags, and my fingertips would be frozen. And I would sit down because it would hurt to carry the bags. Not because they were heavy, but because my fingers were frostbitten. You know, ever since I got my first bike, I hadn't had that feeling. I had that feeling last week because I didn't hook up the trailer properly, and we rode up and I had to ride back. So that means I had to hook up the trailer twice at the house and then hook it up at the place. I had that frostbitten feeling. But there wasn't no pain because I wasn't carrying nothing. And I was in the market. And I had to keep going to the cooling sections. I was waiting for my hands to defrost. We had came back out. And I loaded everything up. My hands were still cold. But we still rode around. I still rode around. But that was the coldest day we've had in a while. It happened one day last week. It was 26 degrees. We hadn't had that in a while. But it just took me back. Am I better off today than I was back in 2017 than I was in 2018? 10 times better. I got a better place, and I'm still trying to get a better place. The fight don't end. I don't know how this video looks to y'all, but I'm not satisfied. We could have done the StreamYards, but the StreamYards is only 720 resolution. The StreamYards is only 720 standard HD. I'm not satisfied. We're doing 1920 by 1080. I'm not satisfied. I want to do 2K 2560 by 1440. That's the reason why we're using the OBS since we got the upgrade. And thank you Xfinity Comcast for the upgrade. I didn't ask for it, but thank you. So instead of doing 5 megabit, we doing 10. And we still getting the 58 megabit download speed. I'm sorry, I keep saying megabit, gigabit. So, like I said, the show's looking good. We only using 12.4%, 10.3% of the PC. So I know we can do the 2K easily. And I'm watching the bit rate 52.81, 64, 59.31, 64.74, 48.99, 62.43. It's bouncing around, but it's doing it. We solid green, and I'm happy. I know we can do better. And see, that's the difference. Y'all will see me try these things and fail. I've been working at this for 3 hours straight. I could have been live already. But it's an inner desire to bring the best that you can bring. Not whine about what you don't have, but how do you maximize what you do have? And if you're doing that, you don't have time to complain. You don't have time to moan and groan. You don't have time to plot about how to hurt your neighbor, how to hurt your friend, how to hurt your family member. If you are trying to maximize what you have, focus on the gift that you have instead of looking at somebody else's gift. What you have to offer might be better than the people you looking up to, but you not looking at yourself. You too busy looking longingly at what somebody else has. You know, we pushed our luck yesterday because I went out and then came back in, and then an hour and 20 minutes, I was out again. It had rained, and I didn't know it had rained, but it had rained. We went and did the trip, didn't get wet. Went out the second time. As soon as I started moving, the water came. I said, so what? Let it rain. Some people will say, well, ha, if you was allowed to drive, you'd have a car. And I say to you, between November of 2017 all the way to early 2019, I had to walk carrying bags in that rain. Then the people gave me a dolly cart, and I had to drag that dolly cart behind me in the rain. Still took an hour to do that trip. It can rain as hard as it want to, baby, because it only takes me 8 minutes to get there versus an hour. Standing in the rain for an hour, standing in the rain for 8 minutes. I'll take the 8 minutes any day. I'll take the 8 minutes any day. Doesn't bother me. I'm not no vampire. I'm not scared of a little bit of water. Most of the equipment is IP67 certified or higher. So we're not worried about the equipment getting wet. Why should we care? But you'll find somebody else, and that's why when it rain and snow, you have to go out there. I got 26-inch 4-inch wide tires on one bike and got 20-inch 4-inch wide tires on the other. I don't think I'm gonna have a problem in the rain and snow. I might do better in the rain and snow than you might do in your car. Now, when it's icy, coming downhill, I had to be real careful. I'll be honest. Coming downhill, I'll probably wear a pair of shorts under the pants because, hey, it's a possibility that I could slide, but I could be in the car and slide. What's the difference? The difference is I know how to fall. It's just a matter of getting up, shaking the snow off, and getting back on the bike and going about your business. But if you crash in the car, you got to exchange insurance information, call the police, make a police report, your auto insurance go up. So you got to take the good with the bad. If I fall, all I got to do is get back up because I know how to fall. That's one of the first things you learn is how to fall. We study in John, so stop worrying about what you don't have. Work with what you have. I had to work with what I had yesterday. I don't know why I thought $18 was a lot of money, but it wasn't. By the time I got the box of Gatorade for $2.99, by the time I got the bag of shrimp, and it was it's on sale for $3.99, 12-ounce bag. You just divide it in half. You get a pack of the core rice. That's 99 cents, and you can divide that bag in half and make 2 meals out of it. So we got 2 bags of the shrimp and we got 4 bags of the rice. We got the Gatorade. I had forgot that I had got them because they were in the panty bags. I found them an hour ago. I didn't realize that I had the graham crackers. So we do have a snack, but they were only $2.19. I said, wait a minute, that's it. I was gonna make some grilled cheese. Had to put that back. I had found some sugar-free donuts. I had to put them back. So basically, all I got is shrimp and rice. $18 for shrimp and rice and the Haterade. But somebody blessed me today, and we'll be able to go get some snacks tomorrow. So while I was worrying, what was worrying going to get me? I'm asking you, what was worrying going to get you? All it does is stress you out and stress out the people around you. Because they got their own problem. They don't need to hear about yours all the time. Especially when you don't try to find a solution. I don't know if it's true or not, and I shouldn't even say this. But I found out that we haven't sold a bike in a while. I think most of y'all know because I haven't said it. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to keep promoting them. Nobody's buying them. I thought that we would have the number of sales we need in order for me to get the PS6. Maybe I'm not meant to have it. But we went through the whole month of December, November, and October. We didn't sell not one e-bike. With all the people I've been talking to outside, when we out, with all the shows I've done, we haven't sold not one e-bike. Should I keep doing it? We haven't sold one. You know how bad that is? We haven't sold not a one. Should I keep doing it? Do I enjoy talking about them? Yes, I do. Am I grateful to be able to get around? Yes, I am. Do I want to offer people the opportunity to get around like I do and be free? Instead of being in a circle of as far as your legs can take you, or as far as your power chair can take you, or as far as your mobility scooter can take you. Do I enjoy trying to get disabled people to get out and get active? We haven't gone back to the heart clinic yet, and they didn't give me the paperwork, to keep track of your weight and stuff. They only gave me one piece, and we filled it out. So I hadn't been on it. I hadn't even tested my sugar in a week. On a whim, I went and tested it today. It was 139. That's damn good. It was 139. That's good. Wait a minute. I sent the picture to somebody, so it should be in the hangout. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Save image to downloads. All right. Now go to downloads. Open. Actually, I can just make it an image. Hold on a sec. I ain't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta do all that, sir. You on the OBS? We ain't got to do that. That stuff you gotta do on what do you call it? The stuff you gotta do on StreamYards. All we gotta do is hit downloads. There it is. It'll pop right up. And image. And I can size it however I want it. Stretch the screen. And then bring it over. There you go. Isn't that nice and easy? We got a 139 today. And I hadn't took my insulin yet or my medicine. We got a 139. We used to get 3s and 4s. This is where you want to be. But see, that voice in your head, you should check your sugar. It's going to be bad, ain't it? That voice in your head tell you, no, don't do it. You got to ignore that voice in your head and do what you know in your heart you should. 139, when I'm used to getting 380s, that's good. And I hadn't tested my sugar in over a week. I remember I used to do daily updates, but the posts are 139. Uh-oh. 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 Looks like we having problems here. Did it hold? Wait a minute, I think we back. This was the reason that we stopped using the OBS. Because for some reason, it would drop frames with these new builds they got. That's why we started using the Witchicon. But I believe we're back. But this is the reason we had stopped using it. Because the new builds they have, they're really for newer computers. And you know, we got an old computer. But like I said, it's not what you got, it's what you do with it. Now, I don't understand why it dropped down, but we still here. That's what counts. So with everything that seemed to be going wrong, stuff is still right. Now, starting the first, I go on to the new health plan. And my prescriptions are going to be lower. Some of them will be free. I won't have no copays anymore. I got to find all new doctors. These are things that I'm going to have to do over the next week. Hopefully I can keep my doctors. I found out that my cardiologist, who we've gone to see 4 times since I've been in the hospital, they sent me a bill for $50. I don't know where they gonna get $50 from, because I ain't gonna give them $50. I've been seeing the same place. I've been seeing the same place. The same place since 2016. I ain't paid a dime. Why all of a sudden do they want $50? Well, they better get it from Care First. Now, I'm supposed to go see them on the 4th. I might not go, because he might not be a doctor I could see. Now, I'm grateful that we was able to get the contacts. And we got them. And I ain't forgot about the dentist. Every dentist that Care First had as a partner, they all said they don't take it. We went through every one of them. We even went to one and got it in there and sat down, and they said, hold on, we don't take this. I'm like, what? So we had to back off the dentistry. But come 1st of the month, it's time to get back in the fight. See, sometimes you have to just back down. We already have the x-rays. We already know what needs to be done. Now we just got to find somebody in that group that I can get to on the bike. And if it come down to it, I might have to start a fund to see if I can take a cab there and back. That's the last resort. But if we want to get it done, we got to get it done. Nobody don't care how you get it done. They just want to see you get it done. And so we'll get it done. Sometimes you got to back off the attack and just let things simmer a bit before you go back in. Sometimes you just got to back off. That's why I tell you, when you see evil, if you can stop it, stop it. If you can't stop it, back off and let somebody who can do, because they might be hurting you right now. The best thing you can do if you can't stop them is to get away. But the next person they might attack might knock them on their behind. So sometimes you gotta back away. Somebody doing some serious yelling. I know y'all can hear that. All right, so let's get to the sermon. It's 2:10 in the morning. Let's follow the book of John. We're at John 8, so we're doing John 8 and 9 today, chapter 8 and 9. Also, we also going to look at, I know it's late, but we also going to look at, are you suffering from Christmas lag? What is Christmas lag? I'll explain. And then, if y'all still around, we're going to look at, is it okay to be a Christian that's depressed? Both of those tie together. The first one is a certain time of the year you feel the depression. The second one is, as a Christian, is it okay to get depressed? Is it okay to feel defeated? Is it okay to see everybody else around you seem to do well and yet you struggle? Is there something wrong with you? Are you doing something wrong? Or is it that's the way it is? We're going to look at that. Plenty of topics for today, so I hope y'all ready. I know it's 2:11 in the morning. I don't expect nobody to be chatting, but if they do, I appreciate you being here, Chung Lee. If you do, says we got 8 people here. So let's get to it. This is the book of John 8. Should be on your screen. But Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. At dawn, he appeared again in the temple courts, where all the people gathered around him, and he sat down to teach them. The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. Now, what do you say?" Let me stop right here. When y'all say that I tell y'all that a woman can only have one husband, and the first person that she ever sleeps with, that's her husband. And anybody else, she's committing adultery. She's sinning. Now, man can say, well, get remarried. That's what man says. These people are trying to trap Jesus by using the law of Moses. They're trying to trap him. Let's see how Jesus handles the trap. Because remember, in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. So to you young ladies that slept with somebody today that wasn't the first person you ever slept with in your life, Back then, you could be stoned to death. A woman can only have one husband, and the husband is the first person she lay down with. So look at how far apart we come from God. A lot of y'all don't like when I tell y'all this. See, the other preachers won't tell you this because they don't make you mad. But if I'm going to tell you the truth, I got to tell you what the truth is. The truth hurts sometimes. There are some young ladies that had sex at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. Whoever, if you did, that was your husband. If you played doctor at 9 or 10 years old, that person, that man, that little boy you played doctor with, that's your husband. Any other person you've been with, for you women that waited till high school and you had your high school sweetheart, that's your husband. You can get mad all you want. It's not fair that a man can have as many women as he can take care of. The law says today he can only have one wife. But back then, a man could have as many women as he can take care of. As long as he could provide for them women, he was good. If he didn't provide for them, he could be stoned to death. Just like you see this woman who got caught cheating on her husband, they were about to stone her to death. We learned in Matthew, Jesus met the woman at the well. He told her, you got 5 husbands, and the one that you stand with now ain't your husband either. So I'm not lying to you. I know you don't want to hear it. It might hurt some of y'all feelings, but the truth is the truth. Don't beat up the messenger. But they brought a woman caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. Now, what do you say? They were using this question as a trap in order to have a basis for accusing him. But Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, Let any of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her. Again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground. Wait a minute. Jesus' response was, Let any of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her. Again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground. Now, Jesus knows the inside and your outside. He knew that there was nobody there that was without sin. And this is a problem that we have as human beings. Even though we are guilty of the same sin, we'll gang up on somebody that gets singled out for that same sin we guilty of. Why is that? Why is that? You'll find people that used to be drug addicts. They'll be the first one, once they get clean, to call out other drug addicts. People who are sex addicts, when they get healed, they the first ones to go call out other sex addicts. Why is that? People who get caught cheating on their exams, they the first to go jump on somebody else that done it. See, because even though we did it, because we have cleaned ourselves up, now we think we are worthy to jump on somebody else. But you did the same sin. How can you say anything? If you're guilty of the same sin, how can you condemn somebody else for the same sin? When you study Jesus' parables, you see how they tie together. Remember the parable? How can you see the speck in your brother's eye, your neighbor's eye, your friend's eye, your sister's eye, but you can't see the big log in your eye? The majority of the people that wanted to pick up a stone and kill this woman were guilty of sin also. Sin is sin. What makes her sin any worse than the sin they did? Oh, they didn't get killed for it. Oh, they didn't get caught. They still sin. Jesus and God know they did it. So should Jesus and God be able? Should they be willing to? They got the power. Should they strike down everybody who sins? Here's a quick question. Should Jesus and God strike down everybody that sins on demand? The minute you sin, struck down. If they did, would there be many people on the planet? If they did, would you have free will? Y'all don't understand what free will means. Free will means that you can live your life the way you choose. See, they talking about the law of Moses. Those are good laws, but they found out that human beings don't follow them. Most human beings will not follow them. Somebody will always find a reason or an excuse to break them laws. They learned that from dealing with the Israelites. You can't. When they wiped the planet, except for Noah's family, the devil was still able to get in everybody's mind and get them to do the same stuff over and over again. Even after Jesus come back. Supposed to teach us for 1,000 years while the devil locked up. They're going to let him out again and see if he can do it again. And he is. So they had Jesus in a cloud. They told him, we'd rather have our own king, a human king. So they gave it to him. Left him alone. It's going to happen again. But if they take our free will away, then the challenge that the devil gave them in the garden, the devil will win. The devil said these human beings will never serve you. They will never love you. They will never worship you. If you do what you want to do all the time, see, God wants you to come because you seek him, not because you have to. Because you don't have to. You can do whatever you want to do. Just get ready to know that you're going to get thrown in the pit. If you doing what you're doing down here is worth it to you, why are you here? I'm wasting my time teaching you. You don't want to hear it. You want to do what you want to do. There's a penalty for that. Thousands of years on a slow burn in hell, and then you get thrown into the furnace and poof, you're gone for good this time. There ain't no coming back. You're gone. If you doing what you want to do down here on this earth, it's more important. then you don't love Jesus and God. You don't love your spirit. You don't love yourself. You only want what your selfish side wants. For you to walk into a church is a waste of time. For you to go around and say hallelujah and pray is a waste of time. Chung Lee says, I think a father raped his little girl. That ain't her husband. Rape victims are married to their rapists for life. That's not right to make them think that. If that's the first person that you ever slept with, that man supposed to take care of you for life. No matter what relation he is to you, he's responsible. He's going to pay for that. When he stands, after he do his time in hell, when he stands in front of Jesus on Judgment Day, he's going to pay for that. He's going to pay for that. Now, when a man dies, a woman is free from that bond. And then she can start over. See, a widow can marry again. But there are extenuating circumstances. Molestation, rape. You'll be able to stand before Jesus, and he already knows it. So you'll be able to make a case. But you don't. That's why you stand before Jesus. But say you were molested at a young age, and say you did get married, you led a good Christian life. You'll be able to stand before Jesus and say, hey, I had no control over that. Where were you at when this was going on? Why didn't you stop him? You'll be able to make a case. But if you use that as an excuse to go out there and sleep with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, it's going to be a little harder for you to make that case. If you are molested or raped, let's say a woman married her husband and she only slept with him. 5 years into the marriage, she gets raped by another man. That has no effect on the law. She married her husband. No effect on the law. If she gets molested as a virgin, she'll be able to make a case in front of Jesus. But if you was in your 18s and 20s and got your first apartment and you went out there club hunting and you sleeping with a different guy every weekend, You need to atone for that sin. And this is what the example that Jesus is setting. The law of Moses at the time was intended to control the Israelites. They found out through trial and error, you can't control human beings. You can't. You can't control them. They got to want to do it. So if you have sinned, come to Jesus and ask for repentance of that sin. But by them stoning the woman, she's not going to get the opportunity to do what? To have Jesus wash that sin off of her, because they were going to kill her. Then it's too late. Do y'all understand? By executing her, you don't give her the chance to let Jesus wash that sin away. That's the one point that you're not getting. Let's say you're a woman, and let's say you slept with 10 men. If you ask Jesus to forgive that sin and wash it away, he will. No matter what you've done. But you got to let him come in and do his work. And not fight him, but let him do his work. Let him change you. That's why I said it's really hypocritical of people who've been in the same situation to want to get together and condemn somebody else instead of saying, hey, you need to repent. It's so easy to point the finger at somebody else, but you don't want nobody to point the finger at you. But you have to listen and learn and not go off the hinges. Because a lot of times people hear something and fly off and don't understand. These people literally wanted Jesus to pick up a stone and be the first one to throw it at her. So they can say, how could you say you're the Messiah and you coming down here, you throwing stones at women? That's what they were trying to set them up for. But Jesus was already ahead of them. If this woman follows me, I can wash that sin off of her. I'm the only one that can do it. Stoning her won't take away the sin. It'll take away the life that did the sin, but it won't take away the sin. Do y'all understand? Everybody has sinned. Correct, Chung Lee. Everyone has sinned. But Jesus can wash away the sin. Jesus understands that we're going to make mistakes. But we have to have a desire to not want to do them. We have to have the desire to not want to do them. And to spend our life showing Jesus through our behavior, through our obedience, through our prayer, that we do not want to sin. And then if it happens, he'll gladly erase it. Because nobody's perfect. Only Adam and Jesus was. And the perfect Adam and Eve still fell. So what chance do you have? Jesus understands that. But if we teach our young people, but remember, they had Jesus there with them, but Jesus hadn't hit the cross yet. He told a couple people he could forgive that sin. They didn't believe him. The woman, the woman wouldn't have had a chance. And I haven't read this in a while, but we'll get to it. We'll see what happens when Jesus talks to the woman. Because I want to know, what is he going to tell her? I already know what he's going to tell her. He's going to tell her, don't sin no more. That's what he's going to tell her. When you almost get stoned to death, most people are going to say, hey, I'm not doing this no more. Some people will do it again anyway and be in the same position. And this time, Jesus might not be there to stop them from getting stoned. That's just human nature. But let's see what happens. Jesus said, let any of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her. Again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground. At this, those who heard began to go away one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left, with the woman still standing there. Jesus straightened up and asked her, woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you? No one, she said. Then Jesus declared, then neither do I condemn you. Go now and leave your life of sin. Do y'all understand? Jesus said, where are those that has condemned you? Has no one condemned you? No one, sir, she said. Then he said, neither do I condemn you. Go now and leave your life of sin. Now, the woman was given a pass. Now, if they catch her a couple of weeks later after Jesus is already gone and she's doing the same thing, this time they might stone her. Is that Jesus' fault? But if she smartens up and doesn't do it again, she won't have to worry about it, will she? It's too bad that they don't tell you what happens. Because I think that after almost being killed, I think she straightened up. What do y'all think? I think that was her rock bottom. No matter what sin you do, if you honestly come before Jesus and admit the sin and ask him to wash it away, if he sees you're genuine, he will do it. But you can't go right back out there and sin again. You got to try not to sin. If you or a drug addict and you lost everything and you trying to break into somebody's house and they catch you and they pull a gun on you and they ready to just end it all for you. And you begging, please, Jesus, just give me one more chance. Don't let this person kill me. And the person says, yeah, all right, get out of here. Get out of here before I shoot you. If the next week you in somebody else's house and you start praying and somehow you get out of it, the next week you do it again, should Jesus help you? I'll wait for an answer. Should Jesus help you? Should he just say, oh, I tried to help him, I can't be no with this fool? He'll go right back out there and do it again. You have to learn the difference. See, in our minds, we think, hey, I'm sorry I did that, Jesus. Forgive me. All right, I'm gone. Nah, ain't that simple. You got to not to want to do it. You got to not want to do it. That's different than saying, hey, yeah, this is what it is, I know I ain't supposed to do it, but, I did it anyway because I wanted to, Please forgive me. I love you, Jesus, but I love that sin more. I love it. I love them drugs more. I love that bottle more. I love messing with them little children more. I love gambling more. I'm addicted to cheating old ladies out the houses. I love doing that more. How long you think he gonna stay with you? When you keep showing you love the sin more than you love him and God. Jesus, I know, since I've been following you, I found a beautiful wife. We got beautiful kids, but, I just can't stay with one woman. I got to go out there and, I just can't do it. Jesus, this church stuff is boring. I got a great husband, great kids, but I'm bored. I need a man with some excitement. I need me a biker man. I need me a thug. I want to feel dangerous and excitement and I can't do it. When you love these things more than you love yourself, bad things happen. And hold on a sec. We need to take care of this real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. Take care of this real quick. In fact, give me something to play.
Minister BROTHADERRICK here. I just want to do this real quick. It's 4:39. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's just go ahead and get this. I'm going to drop it for you. Stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Jesus put an offer on the table. And everyone out there is now able to come home with God in your heart. You're never alone if you believe me. You don't need that weed. Give Jesus a hug and put down the drugs. Victory over death is already won. So why are you picking up that gun? If your spirit is activated and think, why do you need that alcoholic drink? Because the devil tells you, he rules you, he fools you. But the minister is here to school you. I'm here to preach. I'm here to teach. It is you I'm trying to read through this song that I composed. When Jesus comes back, only God knows. Are you ready or are you sitting heaven? Are you ready or are you sitting heaven? You won't be if you follow me. Alright, come on with it now. Oh God, what can I say about thee? You still love us sinners and you offer your grace for free. I'm not worthy, but you still search me out of a life of sin. And with Jesus' help, I know I can win. I love serving my Lord.
Alright, Tom, we heard back.
A relationship with God. This is the only way in the name of Jesus. I always pray and I lay myself as a footstool for the lost demons. I know that, folks. It's not true to be a believer, but I'm not with my soul in the hands of the deceiver, a wicked devil, who will never put trouble. I put my desires in ice and on for reaching paradise. A day with no pain, no stress. You gave me the way, and now I'm blessed. You can test me, let the devil stress me. But baby, hell is one place I don't want to see. So stop and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Are you ready or are you sent heaven? Stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Minister, Brother Derrick. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Peace, everyone. This is Minister Brother Derrick. I'm coming at y'all real. And that's what I do. It's really hard to be a Christian in 2020. Yes, it is. Everybody seems to have a double stamp on it. And we don't get no respect in the world.
All right, y'all, I'm back.
We are considered weak. We are considered soft. We are considered dumb.
Alrighty, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. We had a bot I had to get rid of. Thank you for blocking them, Chung Lee. But that's only half the battle. You have to take that little spam message and you have to put it into block words. And what you do is you don't just do the one that they put in the chat. You have to do at least 4 or 5 different variations of that, because you'll block them words, but they'll come back with the same words that might have a couple spaces in them, might have 1 space in it, it might have parentheses in it, it might have hyphen in it. So you make up several different kinds so that when they try to come back, it automatically get blocked by the system and nobody never see it. So that's why I took the time. It only take me, about 30, 40 seconds, You put 4 or 5 different kinds in there. So whoever make them bots, if you're listening, chumps, if you're listening, I'm putting you to work now. Because you're going to have to find another variation other than what I set you up for, or you got to use another one of your lines. So you're working right now. You got to go to work. So we'll see if we get any more bots. I bet you it won't be the same name. I guarantee you they won't have the same phrase. They're going to have to alter it. The same way I noticed that people have been creating copies of my channel. They've been creating copies of my channel. They've been doing it for years. And people don't even look. But they'll notice that it'll be a different letter. One will be capitalized. The rest of them might not be. They might have put a space there. They might put some, symbols behind it. But they'll try to copy. Somebody was actually able to clone the minister account. I wonder what they're thinking now that it ain't called the minister no more. Somebody cloned the Reverend channel. I wonder what they're thinking. It ain't called the Reverend channel anymore. And we just changed the name again. So I wonder what they thinking. This guy, he keep changing. We was on 3 different channels yesterday. just to keep people guessing. Like to keep them guessing. For some reason, they seem like to clone me. I don't know why, but they do. So let's get back to this. We've already covered this chapter here. See, I just don't read it to you. We actually break it down. And Chung Lee brought up some good points. And I hope that I was able to answer her questions. And the beauty about religion is you can always do your own research. Remember, we're going through the Gospels. So y'all know that we're doing 10 and 11 next Wednesday. Study. And be ready to come question me. I gladly accept the challenge. Let's continue. When Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. The Pharisees challenged them. Here you are appearing as your own witness. Your testimony is not valid. The Pharisees challenged him because in their minds, you had to be somebody like a Abraham or a David, King David, or a Moses. You had to have some kind of, that's what they see as authority. See, once again, this is man looking for authority from another man. Isn't that what we do? If you want to get a driver's license, some man gets in the car with you and you have to prove to that man you can drive the car. If you want to get a degree, you have to go and see these men that are, or women that are teachers, and they have to agree to give you a degree, right? The clergy at that time is asking him, you are paying as your own witness. Your testimony ain't valid. You ain't been in none of our schools. We don't know nothing about you. Who is you? The same way people say, I'm not qualified to be a minister. Well, who gives the qualifications? Well, you know, if you go to Johns Hopkins or you go to University of California or you go to, you know, Harvard, well, who's giving me the degree? Who's giving me the authority? Well, those professors there. Are those professors there God or Jesus? I get my authority from the Holy Spirit. I don't get my authority from some man in a bow tie. That man in the bow tie can't do nothing for me. This is why they don't like Jesus, because Jesus don't come kiss their butt. They used to everybody kissing their butt. Used to everybody coming behind them. So the Pharisees challenged him, saying that he appearing as his own witness. His testimony ain't valid. Jesus answered, even if I testify on my own behalf, my testimony is valid, for I know where I came from and where I'm going. But you have no idea where I came from or where I'm going. You judge by human standards. I pass judgment on no one. But if I do judge, my decisions are true because I am not alone. I stand with the Father who sent me. In your own law it is written, that the testimony of two witnesses is true. I am the one who testifies for myself. My other witness is the Father who sent me. You gotta love it. I haven't read this in a while, but God darn it, I hit it right on the head. You judge by human standards. What did Jesus say? You judge by human standards. When you go get your driver's license, there's a human judging you based on human standards. When you go get your degree, there are humans that judge whether or not you're worthy of getting their degree, their stamp. When you run for the president of the United States, you need the majority of the people to vote for you and give you the approval. Human standards. But Jesus says, I stand with the Father who sent me. In your own law, it is written that the testimony of two witnesses is true. I am one who testifies for myself. My other witness is the Father who sent me. Then they asked him, where is your Father? They don't know he's talking about God. You do not know me or my Father, Jesus replied. If you knew me, you would know my Father also. He spoke these words while teaching in the temple courts near the place where the offerings were put. Yet no one seized him because his hour had not come. Jesus was telling them, you don't know me and you don't know God. If you knew me, you would know God also. They were dumbfounded. They didn't know what he meant. Once more, Jesus said to them, I am going away, and you will look for me, and you will die in your sin. Where I go, you cannot come. What? Once more, Jesus said to them, I am going away, and you will look for me, and you will die in your sin. Where I go, you cannot come. Now, anybody from common sense already know what he's saying. I'm going to be crucified, and you will look for me, but you can't find me. You're going to be looking for my body, but you won't find it, and you'll die in your sins. I think that's self-explanatory. But this made the Hebrews ask, because there wasn't no J back then, so how did Jews ask it? How's there a Jew back then? There wasn't no J. So how were there Jews back then? There wasn't no J. There wasn't no J. How were they Jews? But he continued. This made the Hebrews ask, will he kill himself? Is that why he says, where I go, you cannot come? But he continued, you are from below, I am from above. You are of this world. I am not of this world. I told you that you would die in your sins. If you do not believe that I am he, you will indeed die in your sins. Who are you, they asked. Just what I've been telling you from the beginning, Jesus replied. I have so much to say in judgment of you, but he who sent me is trustworthy, and what I've heard from him I tell the world. They did not understand he was telling them about his Father. So Jesus said, when you have lifted up the Son of Man, then you will know that I am he, and that I do nothing on my own but speak, just as the Father has taught me. The one who sent me is with me. He has not left me alone, for I always do what pleases him. Even as he spoke, many believed in him. To, to the Hebrew who had believed him, Jesus said, if you hold on to my teaching, you are really my disciples, then you will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Then they answered him, we are Abraham's descendants, and have never been slaves of anyone. How can you say that we shall be set free? Can I answer the question? Didn't the Babylonians take over the Israelites? Didn't the Romans take over the Israelites? Didn't the teachers of the law, the Pharisees, the elders, in order to kill Jesus, didn't they have to go to Pilate? That's not considered slavery? Hello? Anybody? I thought the reason why they waiting for a Messiah, so they can fight their way out of slavery and take back Jerusalem and Judah, the land of the milk and honey. I thought that's why they thought they were told the Messiah was coming. How can they say they wasn't enslaved? Maybe because the Romans, only came by to get the money and let them run themselves. But you still are enslaved, just different levels of slavery. You can't do what you want to do. You can't go where you want to go. You can't say nothing against the Roman emperor. You be killed on the spot by a soldier. That's slavery. Well, Jesus said, very truly I tell you, everyone who sins is a slave to sin. Now a slave has no permanent place in the family, but a son belongs to it forever. So if the Son sets you free, you will be freed indeed. I know that you are Abraham's descendants, yet you are looking for a way to kill me because you have no room for my word. I am telling you what I've seen in the Father's presence, and you are doing what you have heard from your father. Abraham is our father, they answered. If you were Abraham's children, said Jesus, then you would do what Abraham did. As it is, you are looking for a way to kill me, a man who has told you the truth that I heard from God. Abraham did not do such things. You are doing the works of your own father. We are not illegitimate children, they protested. The only father we have is God himself. Jesus said to them, if God was your father, you would love me, for I have come here from God. I have not come on my own. God sent me. Why is my language not clear to you? Because you are unable to hear what I say. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning not holding on to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Yet because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Can any of you prove me guilty of sin? If I am telling the truth, why don't you believe me? Whoever belongs to God, hear what God says. The reason the reason you do not hear is that you do not belong to God. Mm, mm. If God were your father, you would love me. But you are unable to hear what I say because you belong to your father, the devil. And you want to carry out your father, the devil's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding on to the truth, for there's no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Yet because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Can any of you prove me guilty of sin? If I'm telling the truth, why don't you believe me? Whoever belongs to God hears what God says. The reason you do not hear is that you do not belong to God. Mm, that's fire right there. Then Jesus answered him. I'm sorry, then the Hebrews answer him. Aren't we right in saying that you are a Samaritan and demon possessed? I am not possessed by a demon, said Jesus, but I honor my Father and you dishonor me. I am not seeking glory for myself, but there is one who seeks it and he is the judge. Very truly I tell you, whoever obeys my word will never see death. At this they acclaimed, now we know you are demon possessed. Abraham died and so did the prophets, yet you said that whoever obeys your words will never taste death. Are you greater than our father Abraham? He died and so did the prophets. Who do you think you are? Jesus replied, if I glorify myself, my glory means nothing. My Father, who you claim as your God, is the one who glorifies me. Though you do not know him, I know him. If I said I did not, I will be a liar like you. But I do know him and obey his word. Your father Abraham rejoiced at the thought of seeing my day. He saw it and was glad. Mm. There's some good stuff here. You are not yet 50 years old, they said to him, and you seen Abraham? Very truly I tell you, Jesus answered, before Abraham was born, I am. At this, they picked up stones to stone him, but Jesus hid himself, stepping away from the temple grounds. For those of you that don't believe that Jesus is the worker and that Jesus, under the power, excuse me, under the power and direction of God, created everything. He just told you, I was here way before Abraham was born. These teachers of the law, these Pharisees, they put in so much into Abraham. Abraham was a man. He was a man that walked with Jesus and God. He was. Jesus told them that Abraham rejoiced at the thought of seeing my day coming. And they told him, man, Abraham died thousands of years ago. How the heck you know about some damn Abraham? Yeah. You ain't even 50 years old. And he told them, before Abraham was born, I've been here. That's what he's saying. And that's why they picked up stones to stone him. How was you here when you were only 30 something years old? In this form that he's in, he's only 30 years old, but he was here before the beginning of time. A lot of people didn't get that. Where's the thing at? There it is. As Jesus went along, he saw a blind man from birth. His disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? See, once again, this is human beings trying to rationalize the reason why this man is blind. Neither this man nor his parents sinned, said Jesus, but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. As long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world. After saying this, he spit on the ground, made some mud with saliva, and put it on the man's eyes. Go, he told him, wash in the pool of Siloam. This word means sent. So the man went and washed and came home seeing. His neighbors and those who had formerly seen him begging asked, isn't this the same man who used to sit and beg? Some claimed that he was. Others said, no, he only looks like him. But he himself insisted, I am that man. How then were your eyes open, they asked. He replied, the man they called Jesus made some mud and put it on my eyes. He told me to go to Siloam and wash, so I went and washed, and then I could see. Where's the man? They asked him. I don't know, he said. They brought to the Pharisees the man who had been blind. Now the day on which Jesus had made the mud and opened the man's eyes was a Sabbath. Therefore the Pharisees asked him how he had received his sight. He put mud on my eyes, the man replied, and I washed, and now I see. Some of the Pharisees said, this man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath. Some of the Pharisees said, this man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath. But others asked, how can a sinner perform such signs? So they were divided. Then they turned again to the blind man. What do you have to say about him? It was your eyes he opened. The man replied, he is a prophet. They still did not believe that he had been blind and had received his sight until they sent for the man's parents. Is this your son? They asked. Is this the one you say was born blind? How is it now that he can see? We know that he's our son, the parents answered, and we know he was born blind. But how he can see now or who opened his eyes, we don't know. Ask him. He is of age. He will speak for himself. His parents said this because they were afraid of the Hebrew leaders who had already decided that anyone who acknowledged that Jesus was the Messiah would be put out of the synagogue. That's why his parents said, he is of age, ask him. A second time they summoned the man who had been blind. Give glory to God by telling the truth, they said. We know this man is a sinner. He replied, whether he's a sinner or not, I don't know. One thing I do know, I was blind, but now I see. Then they asked him, what did he do to you? How did he open your eyes? He answered, I've told you already, and you do not listen. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you want to become his disciples too? Then they hurled insults at him and said, you are this fellow disciple. We are disciples of Moses. We know that God spoke to Moses, but as for this fellow, we don't even know where he comes from. The man answered, now that is remarkable. You don't know where he comes from, yet he opened my eyes. We know that God does not listen to sinners. He listens to the godly person who does his will. No one has ever heard of opening the eyes of a man born blind. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing. To this they replied, you steeped in sin at birth. How dare you lecture us? And they threw him out. So the man stood up to them and told them the truth. And they got angry and hurled insults at him and threw the man out. See, the man wouldn't tell them what they wanted to hear. They didn't want to get along with Jesus because it's not to their benefit. They want to be the big men. That's why they keep throwing out big names like Moses and Abraham's, because those were the big names at the time. And when you said them names, everybody was supposed to stop because they were such special men. And by us saying the name, that means we special too, and you got to treat us like we special. But when Jesus come by and can do miracles, that's special. So they jealous. They jealous and they want to get rid of Jesus so they can get the spotlight back, so they can get the attention back. That's what they want. That's what they want. Jesus heard they had thrown him out, and when he found him, he said, do you believe in the Son of Man? Who is he? The man asked. Tell me so I may believe in him. Jesus said, you have now seen him. In fact, he is the one speaking to you. Then the man said, Lord, I believe, and he worshiped him. Jesus said, for judgment I have come into this world so that the blind will see, and those who see will become blind. Some Pharisees who were with him heard him say this and asked, what? Are we blind too? Ooh. Jesus said, if you were blind, you would not be guilty of sin. But now that you claim you can see, your guilt remains. Ooh, child. Jesus said, for judgment I have come into this world so that the blind will see, and those who see will become blind. Some Pharisees who were with him heard him say this and asked, what, are we blind too? Jesus said, if you were blind, you would not be guilty of sin. But now that you claim you can see, your guilt remains. What is Jesus saying? You see the truth. You see what's in front of you. But you want to deny it. You want to act like you don't see it. You know that you sin, even though you tell people not to sin. But on Judgment Day, the guilt is going to rain all over you. And you're going to go in that pit of fire. That's it. Yep. Check the chat real quick. Ain't nobody saying nothing. We got 8 people here though. All right, let's keep going. 3:17 in the morning. I'll play a song real quick and then we'll get back to it. We'll take a break for a second.
Yeah. BROTHADERRICK, the one-man show. I'm back up another track. Spitting out the truth. Can you feel that?
I said, can you feel that?
Oh, yeah. Nice and mellow. Oh, Lord, I'm not worthy of your love, because your grace is the last thing I think of. I don't want to feel the wrath of your anger, but I keep stumbling into danger. I I let myself back into a life of sin. Can you forgive me again? I'm only flesh, but deep down I have a zest. I keep failing the devil test. This mean I'm not ready? My heart is heavy. I'm stuck in a state of confusion. I'm doing wrong. It's like a nightmare, but it's no illusion. My God, what's the solution? Is the pleasure of this world enough to make my faith unfurl and pass? I try to stay on the right path, but it never lasts. I don't want to feel the wrath of your anger, but I keep stumbling into danger. I feel like a marked man. I know you understand that this agony is part of your plan. Or am I just weak? How did I let the devil sneak inside and deprive my spirit? Jesus said he would never leave us. So why is he being quiet while I died and snatched in unclean acts? Oh Lord, I'm not worthy of your love, because your grace is the last thing I think of. I don't want to feel the wrath of your anger, but I keep stumbling into danger. I'm making my plea. Jesus, can you help me? I'm not perfect on the outside. I seem righteous, but inside I'm fighting the battle of my life. I need someone to focus on, a child to wife. I got too much time on my hands. It's all about me. I'm free to do what I want. Whatever I feel with no repercussions. I get bored. My flesh and face start struggling. I get lonely. The followers at the church don't help. I'm around 100 people, but I'm still by myself. So it's easy to lower myself. I've been in the company of someone who threatens my spiritual health. But Lord, you took my great-grandma, my mother, bless their souls, and left me with no guidance in this cold, cruel world. But worst of all, you snatched my baby girl. That's when I was starting to appreciate fatherhood. And you won't send anybody good who I can marry, who can carry a child for me. I refuse to be a single missionary in another country, alone in a nation I don't know. But deep down I feel that's where you want me to go. Oh Lord, I'm not worthy of your love, because your grace is the last thing I think of. I don't want to feel the wrath of your anger, but I keep stumbling into danger. I don't understand my purpose. Can you unlike me and bring to the surface what you have in store for me? I wonder, are you ignoring me, or is it the other way around? I know I'm stubborn, but your word says that a believer will from within change. And then that person won't want to sin, while I'm really willing and able, waiting for you to the table of my sinful lust and get in you I trust. So do what you must. I give you full control of my soul. Oh Lord, I'm not worthy of your love, because your grace is the last thing I think of. I don't want to feel the wrath of your anger, but I keep stumbling into danger. Another hit from BROTHADERRICK, one man show. Can you feel that? Hope it touches you in some way. I'm out. Praise God.
Can we hear that again? One more time, y'all.
I don't understand my purpose. Can you unlike me and bring to the surface what you have in store for me? I wonder, are you ignoring me, or is it the other way around? I know I'm stubborn, but your word says that a believer will from within change. And then that person won't want to sin, while I'm really willing and able, waiting for you to the table of my sinful lust and get in you I trust. So do what you must. I give you full control of my soul. Oh Lord, I'm not worthy of your love, because your grace is the last thing I think of. I don't want to feel the wrath of your anger, but I keep stumbling into danger. Another hit from BROTHADERRICK, one man show. Can you feel that? Hope it touches you in some way. I'm out. Praise God. Never forget what he does for you.
I wrote that song when I was in Bible college. It's called Stumbling into Danger. What did I mean by stumbling into danger? It's so easy for us human beings to fall into the trap of living out our fleshful desires. It's in us. We fighting a battle. There is there's a serpent And there is a band of his minions, a third of the angels. That third could be hundreds, it could be thousands. We don't know how many God had Jesus create, but we know a third of them. Somebody knocking on the window, but it ain't mine, because how could they be on the second floor? How could somebody be on the second floor? I got these headphones on. That's always whispering in your ear. That voice you hear inside your head that tells you when everything is okay, it tells you it's wrong. That voice in your head that tells you, even though you're guilty of doing the same thing, look at them over there, look at them. Look at them over there, when you know you do the same thing when nobody looking. That voice in your head that tells you, even though you the sorriest worker on the job, that you should get the promotion. You lucky to still had a job. You lucky that they ain't dropped you a long time ago. But you think you the best person on the job because that voice in your head tell you is. When you listen and you continue to listen, you stumbling into danger. How do you stop stumbling? By clinging close to Jesus and God. By talking to them, by staying in contact, by grabbing on to Jesus' robe and saying, help me. The mind is willing, but the flesh is not. My body wants to sin so bad. It's a constant battle. The battle won't end till the day you die. Everybody can't do what I've done. I've taken the majority. I've taken the majority of the people that have caused me to sin. I don't go around them. I avoid them. If I need companionship, I know how to go outside and talk to somebody and just soak it up from them. And then go about my business. I know it's certain people I can't be around. They are users and they will use you. When I started doing that, then the devil took my health. That still didn't work. The distance between where I ride on the bike and where I ride back to, or whoever he can find to invade this chat, that's the only way the devil can hit me. It's the only way. He's tried insects. That didn't work. Matter of fact, I did a test today because I slept all day. I wasn't able to run behind Davy after she went to the bathroom. When we started the show today, that zapper went off. It hadn't went off in 3 days. Now, the drains are all covered. The bathroom sink has an inch of bleach water in it. The toilet has an ounce of bleach in it. I sprayed bleach down the bathroom tub drain. I poured bleach down the kitchen sink and put the cover on it. But yet, the one day that I didn't run behind Davy and get rid of her droppings, that zapper went off. It took him all that time. He had to wait for me to make the mistake of staying on all night. That was the only way. So even though I blocked everything up, something still made its way in here and found her litter box. There was nothing else for them to dine on. When I get off of here, I'm going to go clean the box out, and I'm probably going to dump the litter into a bag and put some fresh litter down there. But here's the thing. It took him 36 hours. 36 hours. With everything I set up, we got the surrender down. We got the boric acid down. We got the electronic devices. We got all the drains blocked up. He was still able, with me sleeping all day. And before I started the show, I started to go clean out the litter box. And I said, no, I'll do it after the show. And guess what? We got a zap. We hadn't got a zap in 36 hours. The devil cannot do anything without your help. He needs your help. When I cooked I was talking to somebody on Hangouts, and I was cooking the shrimp and rice in the pot, and I let it go too long. When I woke up today, the daggone thing looked a mess. I said, you know what? This thing been clean. I went and got the scouring pad. We only got one left, but I wetted it, and I went and I scrubbed that stove and made it white again. And I know that if I go in there and look, it's not gonna be white. Even though I scrubbed it, it's still not gonna be white. And he needs for me to look at it and not do anything and cook something else on top of it and get more on the stove and not do anything and cook something else and let something run over and get on the stove and not do anything about it. And before you know it, there's so much stuff on there you can't get it off and you give up. That's what he wants. But he needs you to do it. If you don't do it, he can't win. He needs help. He needs your help. That's why it keeps you busy. That's why you get drama in your life. You get people to pull you away from things you're supposed to be doing. He needs help. You want to beat the devil? Ignore everything. Ignore it. When somebody pulling at you, They're going the wrong direction. Tell them get out your face. Stay on course. It's the hardest thing. Don't stumble into danger. Don't do the things you're not supposed to do. You know that if you don't do something, you don't keep up something, you don't follow up something, something's bad gonna happen. But in order for it to happen, you gotta do something. You can't sit there and be with a man that you see rough people up, and then one day he rough you up. Why do you seem surprised? You seen him rough other people up. What makes you think he not gonna rough you up one day? But if you wasn't there, you wouldn't be there to get roughed up, would you? But you let something in your mind say that you special. He beat up everybody else, but he not gonna beat me. He love me. He not gonna beat me. Yeah, whatever. You got some women that want a man because every other woman want him, and the man knows it, and he manipulates all of you and treats you all like garbage, and yet you still would die for that man. But if you woke up and said, I want a man that's going to treat me right, I want a man that loves God, he's capable of loving God and Jesus. He's capable of loving me. That's not what you want. You say you want it, but you want the ruffian. You want the redneck. You want the biker. You want the thug. You want it. No matter what race you are, all women look up to it. That's why you watch the rap videos, and even though you know 90% of what they showing you is fake, you want that. You want it. You want the dream. Every woman, every young girl that R. Kelly has molested, she wanted it. Even though she know it's wrong, she wanted it. As long as you want evil, you will never be in the presence of Jesus and God. As long as you love evil, you can't serve both. You can't serve the devil and serve God. You can't serve the devil all week and then go to church on Sunday. It don't work that way. But people believe that they can do it. You can't do both. It's like trying to be in the chats of two YouTubers that you like, but they can't stand each other. Somebody gonna keep pulling you up. Hey, we saw you over there. What you doing here for? Hey, you over here spying. You're a double agent. What are you doing? It's hard to serve two masters. You can't do what the devil want, and you can't do what God want, because God doesn't want anything the devil want. So how can you serve both of them? They're on two opposites, but you got people trying to juggle. Well, you know, Saturday night I'm gonna be in the club, get drunk and freak and act a damn fool, and probably wind up in a motel room. But I'm gonna leave that motel room. Check out is at 11 o'clock, and church service is at 11 o'clock. I'm gonna leave the motel clean myself up a little bit, and I'm going up in the church. You got people that's doing that, and they think they're getting over. No, they're not. They're gonna find out the hard way. They're gonna find out the hard way. But let's change subjects here. Since Christmas just passed and we days from the new year, are you dealing with the post-Christmas blues? Are you dealing with Christmas lag? For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about Christmas lag. Just like if you were to take a jet to a different time zone, you would be sluggish because the times are different. They call that jet lag. I'm calling this Christmas lag because come end of November, Black Friday, and all the way up to December 25th, Christmas Day, you get excited. You get energy. You just get a whole bunch of just volume of emotions looking forward to Christmas Day. Then you don't get the gifts you want. You wanted the family to come together, and they don't. They still fighting. You thought somebody was going to be able to get off the military leave and come home for the holidays, or somebody that's working overseas as a reporter or something. You thought they was going to make it home, and they couldn't. So now it's the day after Christmas, and everybody's gone, and it didn't go the way you thought it would. You had all these hopes and expectations, and they didn't happen. Are you suffering from Christmas lag? It happens to a lot of people. I was able to avoid Christmas lag this year. I didn't make Christmas about myself. I made it about Davy. And then I shared it with all of y'all. So I think I had a pretty good Christmas. Some people didn't have a good Christmas. They thought they would until they came and they were disappointed. So if that's you, how do you deal with Christmas lag? How do you overcome Christmas disappointment? It's almost like buyer's remorse. You know, when you save up to buy something that everybody say you should get, and then you get it, and then you go, yeah, it ain't all that. And and then you start to become sorry you bought it. Well, to some people, holidays are like that. They get worked up and they have this anticipation, and then it don't pan out. And some people get depressed. Some people commit suicide because their level of expectations weren't met. So let's take a look at this article and see what it says on overcoming Christmas lag. Because you was a child, you look forward to Christmas. Then after you open your gifts, you're like, man, that's all I got. Christmas sucks. Let's take a look. This is a difficult season. The week after Christmas, it's a mini season of limbo and awkward in between time, and people have different ways of dealing with it. Some are still running on fumes from the emotional high of their opening presents and seeing family board. They may even try to extend the holiday an extra week with varying degrees of success. Others feel guilty for overindulging in holiday sweets and are on a week-long shame fest. They're already starting to make those New Year resolutions. Even others are dealing with the disappointment of another year gone by. A number December 25th come and gone, and a lingering feeling of emptiness after the last gift is unwrapped. For years, I felt this way about Christmas, and to an extent, still sometimes do. There's so much hype and expectation building up to a single day. How does it live up to its potential, and what do we do the day after Christmas? And for many of us, a good old-fashioned case of the blues settles in. Capture your thoughts, yes, even your angst-ridden, screwsy thoughts, and share them. Do it honestly and unapologetically. If you feel something deep and dark, maybe even cynical, write about it. Use a notebook or laptop and let yourself process the feeling without restraint. In other words, grieve. Did you have an amazing Christmas and you're sad to see it go? Write about it. Did everyone get into a fight and yell at each other? Write about that too. Did you end the day cynical and frustrated, not believing the so-called magic of Christmas? Yes, write even about that. As you write, let go. As the memories and frustrations wash over you, let the feelings slip away. Honor them as they come, but don't dwell on them. Be present to your emotions and then let them fade. This is what grieving is for, not hanging on, but letting go. Maybe you need to write a lament like I did, this sort of anti-Christmas carol. Instead of singing the joys of the coming holiday, mourn its passing, whether you loved it or you hated it. Have a funeral for this day of wonder and awe, because it's gone and it won't be coming back. You'll never get this Christmas back. So shed a tear or sing a hallelujah. Do whatever you need to do to let it go. There are 360 other days that need your attention. Don't dwell on the past or in the future. Focus on where you are right now. Writing or any creative act can help you with this. If you get stuck, here are some ideas. Write a poem about the feelings you felt right after opening present. Disappointment, anger, release, capture them in words. Write a complaint letter to Santa Claus about your disillusionment. What really miffs you about this holiday? Tell an old fat man how it is. Write a blog post describing Christmas Day without all the fully exaggerations. Be honest. If you didn't like a gift, say so. Write what we're all thinking. Okay, Chun, if you still here, what's the difference between a blog and a vlog? Because I named the channel Blogs, and you said to name it Vlog. So what's the difference between a blog and a vlog? Can somebody Google that real quick? I'm just saying. If you're so inclined, write a sad song and sing it aloud for yourself or others to hear. Pray a prayer that allows you to grieve the passing of the day while still honoring its importance. Paint a picture, listen to music, or do some woodworking. Just create something, anything. This is how we work through disappointment and overcome tragedy. We grieve, we process, we pay attention to what we're feeling so we can move on. We own our feelings so they don't own us. This is healthy, this is right, this is necessary. Be brave today and the days following Christmas. Learn to grieve and let go. There's a wonderful lesson about life and loss to be learned here. If you will be present, you will press in, mourn, and move on. Or you can just go shopping and watch TV. It's your call. All right, so hold on a second. All right, blog is the method of writing content such as text, GIF, pictures, and so on. These blogs are hosted on websites such as Jomea, WordPress, Blogger, and Drupal. They were developed in the 1990s, became popular in 2003. It's easy and cheap to maintain a blog. So what's a vlog? Okay, vlog is used for videos. Okay, so Chong Lee was right. Vlog. It can be hosted on YouTube, Vimeo. All right, there you go. See, it takes seconds to find an answer. Hey, it is going to Google. Let's keep right on rolling. All right, our final topic for today. Can one be a Christian and still suffer depression? I kind of touched on this a little earlier. I haven't read this, so I don't read them. I don't know what this thing says, but we'll see. Will the Spirit make me sound better or worse than the article? Let's go. I told y'all earlier about depression. Sometimes you can let the joy, the energy about the gift of grace. When people first hear about Jesus and about the possibilities of going to paradise, they get excited. And they want to run out and tell the world and share it with everybody. But when they get out there, they find out don't nobody really care. Man, shit, man, out of here. Man, go to church. Leave me alone with that crap. It almost makes you feel isolated. People in your family, most of them don't want to hear it. There you go with that church stuff again, man. Nobody believe in that stuff, man. That old hocus pocus, that whatever. There ain't no God. How would He let us do what we doing? Hurricanes and floods and typhoons and look at all the people suffering and dying. There ain't no God, and you know it could put you feeling a bad kind of way. You want to spread all this joy, and people looking at you like, man, you crazy. I got stuff to deal with right now. You talking about, man, I ain't trying to hear that stuff, man. That's that old white man stuff that kept us in slavery. We don't want to hear about that crap. Get out my face. When you get rejected like that, and we've all felt it, no matter what race, we've all felt that kind of rejection. The same kind of rejection that the Jehovah's Witnesses get when they knock on your door and you tell them, get away from your porch, don't come back here no more, or you don't answer the door, or you throw some hot water at them, or threaten to put the dogs on them. It's that kind of rejection that as a Christian, you got to get used to. You got to toughen your skin. It's the minute you become a follower of Jesus, you're in the crosshairs of the devil and his demons. They see it as their personal mission to keep as many human beings from having a relationship with Jesus and God as possible. That's their mission. And how do they do it? By getting into your mind and making you feel like you missing out. I don't understand. I do everything right and I'm trying to have a relationship with Jesus. I'm trying to be a good example, and yet these guys out here doing everything and they got better cars and a better house and they got a better mate and they seem to have everything. And people looking down on me, and you call me the Bible boy or call me the church toter, and it's like, man, people want to beat you up. They see you walking with the Bible, and it's like, why does it seem so much more fun to just roll with the devil? Why does it seem so much more hip, so much cooler to do what you know is wrong? Why do you seem to suffer Why does it seem to hurt when you do right? Why does it seem to hurt so much? Why are you ridiculed for doing the right thing? Why are you made fun of? Because the deck is stacked. The deck is stacked. And Jesus and God can help you to an extent. To an extent, you have to come to them. See, if they come get you and make you, you didn't do it on your own. You have to want it. But how can you want something that nobody else around you seems to want? People talk about clean living, but who really lives clean? Bars and clubs are full every week. Casinos are full every week. Movies glorifying violence and drug selling and loose sex, and movie theaters are full every week. That old saying still keep coming along. Good girls are home on Friday, Saturday night doing nothing, while the bad girls are out everywhere. So what about them good girls that stay home? What are they thinking when the bad girls come home and tell them, hey, we went and did this. They took us here, they took us there. We was all over. How they not get depressed when they have to hear about all the things? Because, see, a lot of people are going to throw things in your face that make you feel bad or make you feel like you're missing out on something. When in reality, what they doing is nothing. You got people that tell you they go on cruises and go to these islands and whatever else. If you're a true Christian, you trying to get off this earth. You ain't trying to stay in it and live it. You trying to get out of here. You looking forward to leaving this place. You don't want to sit here and really try to hang on to it. You can't stay. What does it matter if you go to Morocco, if you go to Jamaica, the Virgin Islands? I'm trying to get off this planet. I don't care about none of them places. I'm trying to get out of here. I'm trying to stay right, do right, so I can get to the next level. I'm not worried about what's down here. Put on it. I don't care about the Eiffel Tower. Oh, who cares? You know, I've seen the Statue of Liberty in life for real. Who cares? There ain't no Statue of Liberty in paradise. Why am I worried about seeing stuff? Why am I worried about going into a stinky club with everybody dancing and funking around? Well, why am I worried? Why do I want to go pick up some diseased person and bring them home, knowing I'm not gonna marry them, knowing that they're not gonna fellowship with me in anything, that they're not gonna want to live as I live? Why am I looking up to them? Why do I want to be around them? I just because you let the devil think you missing out on something. You ain't missing out on nothing. You ain't missing out on nothing but sexual diseases, jail time, a fast trip to the grave. What are you missing out on? You got people out there drag racing and killing themselves. They got the money to get some of the prettiest, most powerful cars in the world. They out there killing themselves. Really? Really? Just asking. Is it depressing to be a Christian when you see people doing wrong, but they seem to be doing a whole lot better than you are. It seems like you suffer while they had a life of luxury. But you gotta remember, those that are first will be last. Those that are last will be first. What does that mean? Those who stay on course and those who suffer will be considered last down here. Those that are first down here are going to be the first to go into the lake of fire. The fires of hell, then the lake of fire. Well, you can go ahead and be first to get in there. I don't want to go. So, is it a bad thing to feel depressed sometimes? Because you feel like you're missing out. But I ask you, what are you missing out on? I'll go back to my example. I will go back to my example I said earlier. What are the good girls thinking while the bad girls are out there having fun? Here's something I can tell you. This is something I can tell you. What are the bad girls thinking when the good girls get married and get taken care of the rest of their life and they can't keep a man to say that? What are they thinking? Do they get depressed? Do they get depressed? Because they went out and became the damn town floozies. Don't nobody want to marry the town floozies and bring them home. Aren't those the women that's going to wind up with 4 or 5 kids by different men that's going to wind up on drugs, trying to deal with the depression and trying to raise them kids by themselves? What do they think of the women who they ridiculed that did it the right way and have a family with a husband and kids? What are they thinking? That's what you got to focus on. You got to look in the future. So I think about the here and now. Yeah, it might be fun to go out there and do them things, but what about when you get older? Young people never think about when they get old. You never think about when you get old. You got to pay the penalty for the things you do. When you're young, you think you're invincible. Then when you get older, you got a bunch of regret. I'd rather suffer in the beginning and be all right at the end than to have fun at the beginning and then go under at the end. What do y'all think? Anybody still awake? There's 7 people here. Anybody still awake? Let's look at this last article and I'll let y'all go. Can one be a Christian and still suffer depression? No Christian is immune from depression. Is there anything we can do when anxiety, worry, or depression threatens to engulf us? Clinical depression is a serious illness with various physical, mental, and social symptoms, which can incapacitate people. The levels of certain chemicals in the brain can contribute to the problem. Those suffering from severe or chronic depression should seek specialized counseling and medical guidance, in addition to applying the biblical tools mentioned in this response. Depression, in more everyday terminology, usually refers to periods of unusual sadness or prolonged fear or worry, or a feeling of overwhelmed by stress or distress. The immediate response is to often forget past successes, to feel hopelessness, vulnerable, and want to quit. No Christian is immune. On occasion, even some of the great men in the Bible suffer from depression. After a string of miracles and a long, close relationship with God, the prophet Elijah became prey to depression when Queen Jezebel threatened to kill him. Elijah was tired of following a long period of stress, and this probably exacerbated his sense of discouragement and hopelessness. Nonetheless, God did not want him to remain in this condition. In a quiet, compassionate way, God explained to Elijah what he could not see in his irrational state, that he was not alone, and that God would continue to support him in the work he had to do. You can read about Elijah's recovery in Kings 19:1-18. The book of Proverbs has much to say on depression and worry and offers useful guidance. See Proverbs 12:25, Proverbs 13:12, 15:13, and 18:14. In Luke 12:22, Jesus Christ explains the futility of worry, a trait that often leads to depression. In verse 28, he highlighted one aspect of the problem when he refers to his disciples as you of little faith. For a Christian, depression, again the more typical variety, not the psychological malady, sometimes may be an outgrowth of lack of faith in God. It will be easier for Christians if following water baptism and the laying of on hands for the receipt of the Holy Spirit, we could all be immediately filled with faith, love, and patience. But it doesn't happen that way. Instead, God expects us to develop these characteristics through experiences and even trials, just as we learn obedience to his law. Christians should not remain in a depressive state. As God dealt with Elijah in the Old Testament, so he deals with Christians today through Jesus Christ. By his own suffering while here on earth, Jesus learned compassion for his people. Hebrews 4:14-16. He knows that we are weak and prone to fears, doubts, and worry that can lead to depression. He's always there to help when we are overburdened and promises to give us rest. Matthew 11:28-30. In practical terms, is there anything we can do when anxiety, worry, or depression threaten to engulf us? There is, but it takes mental effort and often means noticing potential problems before they take hold. The Apostle Paul instructs us to be bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. 2 Corinthians 10:5. When a fearful thought or a worry first enters your head, pray to God and ask him for his help to dispel it. Do not give it either time or space to implant itself in your mind. This may be easier said than done at first, but with God's help, it does begin to work. Prayer is a vital way of drawing close to God, as is the study of Scripture. Indeed, the Bible and its promises will help us to build faith. Paul pointed out that faith comes through hearing God's word, Romans 10:17. Paul also admonishes us, finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue, if there is any praiseworthy, meditate on these things. Philippians 4:8. As Christians, we should be familiar with the promises God has made to us. Remember, the great love the Father and Jesus Christ have shown us by providing a way by which we can be rescued from our sins. Meditating on these things can bring us comfort in times of sorrow. Read scriptures such as John 3:16-17, Luke 12:32, Romans 8:18-39, Revelation 21:1-7. Try actively imagining what the coming 1,000-year reign of Christ will be like, or the New Jerusalem in the eternal age beyond. Scriptures such as Isaiah 11:6-9 and Isaiah 35:1-10 and Revelation 21:22 may help here. You can even imagine yourself being there. However, we should never lose sight of present reality. Always ask God the Father and Jesus Christ for help, but also tap into the support of other Christians. Having someone who you can phone, email, or text can be a valuable help. Maybe a friend could contact you from time to time, just to let you know that you are not alone. If you have Sabbath services in your area, go along and meet people. Get involved in something that does not further stress or does not add further stress or anxiety, but that improves your life. Physical activities such as jogging, walking, ballroom dancing, swimming, and team sports can all help. Another huge help is to get involved in helping others. Doing so can help get our minds off our own problems as we focus on serving others. Do not become discouraged if you cannot overcome depression or worry all at once. As the Apostle Peter wrote, grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. 2 Peter 3:18. Climbing out of depression can be likened to trying to climb out of a slippery pit. We can set off with good intentions and then slide back in. It's a long journey, but we must keep at it with God's help. Christians are those growing to be like Christ, and we still have much to learn. Alrighty, we down to 5 viewers. How long you been online? 2 hours and 49 minutes. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a great night. And I will see y'all tomorrow or later today, I guess. I said tomorrow. Later today. But hey, I gave you 11 hours yesterday, and I gave you almost 3 hours today. Y'all have a great night. It's never too late to worship God and Jesus, and I hope that I brought y'all some nice insights, some good information, and I will see y'all to. Oh, I didn't promote the bikes. What the? Might as well. Come on, get it over with. You might as well. All right, this is the Pastelec P5, the Pastelec PX5. It got 20-inch 4-inch wide tires. It got a 7-speed Shimano shifter, mechanical disc brakes. It comes with a rear rack and fender, 10.4 amp hour battery, black and white color display. Comes with front suspension and comes with a suspension seat post. Let me get you the link. Copy. Oops. Open the wrong thing up. And paste. Alrighty. And what? Ain't it? Hold on a sec. Go back. Are we live? Yeah, we live. Why I say we not live? Oh, maybe that's the chat from the first one. Okay, maybe that's what it is. So go back. Okay. And give me the chat. I don't know why ain't nobody here. But irregardless. Okay. Put it on live chat. All right, this is the link to get the Pastelec PX5. Here's my coupon code. Let me copy it real quick. Put it in the chat. All right, there's my coupon code. Let me show you what you do with it. Hit the refresh button real quick. All right. Now scroll ahead. And it's on the wrong bike, but okay. There we go. All right, it's also foldable. If you're interested in this bike, let me show you what my coupon code can do for you. Just hit buy now. They asking $11.99. Put my coupon code in. You can get this bike for $9.99. You can get that bike for $9.99. Now, if you want some premium features and you want a more powerful motor, then I will get this bike. This is the Pastelec PS6. This bike is the update to the bike I just showed you. You can already tell. Look at that heavy duty updated rack. It also got 20-inch 4-inch wide tires. It's got front suspension and it's got frame suspension. So it has full suspension. It's got a 12 amp hour battery. It's got an 8-speed Shimano Alta shifter. It's got a color display. It got a 750 watt motor that peaks at almost 1100 watts. This is the upgrade, and it is an upgrade. Now, you know the upgrade gonna cost a little bit more. So, you know, let's take a look here. Some things you can be cheap about, some things you can't. But if you like the premium features, the hydraulic brakes, if you like having the full suspension versus the suspension seat post, you appreciate having the upgraded Shimano Alta shifter. You appreciate the bigger battery. If you appreciate the 750 watt motor versus the 500 watt motor, then you'll get this bike. I think this is the best foldable in the business. But that's my opinion. Now they asking $15.99. Use my coupon code. You can get this bike for $12.99. You can save $300 using my coupon. It's a steal. Get it. Don't know why you wouldn't get it. Now, that was the foldables. Let's look at the mountain bikes. You got the G9. Yes. It doesn't look like it, but yes, this is an e-bike. This is an electric bike. Look at the rear wheel. Got a motor. The battery and controller is in the frame, so nobody can steal it. It's got 27.5-inch tires, and it got 2.8-inch. The tires are almost 3 inches wide. It's almost like having a fat tire on a mountain bike. But check this out. It's got a 7-speed Shimano shifter, got a black and white display. It got front suspension, no rear suspension, 13 amp hour battery, mechanical disc brakes. This basically is just a good e-bike. It's basic. It got the basic features. If you used to riding a regular bike, this is all you need. You don't need to spend a whole lot of money. But we got other options for those of you that are not professional bike riders. But if you professional bike rider, you're looking to get a bike for a child, this would be, if you got a college student that need to get around campus, or somebody to just get out your hair, you might want to get them this bike. This is the Select G9. Let me copy this real quick. Copy. All right, there's the link, and there is the coupon code. Let's see. All right, come on, scroll down. Oops, went too far. They asking $11.99. You put my coupon code in, you can get this bike for $9.99. You can get that pretty bike for $9.99. Now, if you want to step up, look, for a couple hundred, for $100 more. I mean, come on. This is nice, but check this out. Check this e-bike out. What are you doing? You're probably saying, well, it looks similar. It just look a little fancier. Well, yeah, it's an upgrade. This bike is very similar to the bike I just showed you. They both got 27.5-inch, 2.8-inch wide tires. They both got a 13 amp hour battery. And they got the same frame almost, right? That's where the similarities end. That's where they end. Because this bike doesn't have mechanical disc brakes. It's got hydraulic car-like brakes. Doesn't have a black and white display. It has a color display. It doesn't have a 7-speed Shimano shifter. It has an 8-speed shifter. It has front suspension and rear flex frame suspension. So the hydraulic brakes, the full suspension, the 8-speed shifter, the color display, a 500-watt motor that peaks between 750 and 800. This is actually all the bike you need. It got all the features, all the comfort, everything you want. Some of you are saying, yeah, but the other bike is $8.99. Yeah, but it ain't got no premium features. But let me get you the link. If you value those features, then you want to get this bike. No questions asked. If you value the features, you're gonna get this bike. I'm gonna give you the coupon code to help you get it at a good deal. People keep asking me, oh, why do I keep doing this when y'all ain't taking advantage of it? Figure you're gonna wake up one day, it doesn't cost me anything to promote these bikes, so, you know, ain't gaining nothing, ain't losing nothing. But they asking $14.99 for this bike. They asking $14.99. And for them features I told you about, that's a pretty good deal. Where you gonna find a full suspension mountain bike? Full suspension mountain bike for $14.99. I tell you one thing. Check out my coupon code. I can get you this bike for $11.99. Full suspension. 27.5-inch, almost 3-inch wide tires. You get a color display. You get an 8-speed shifter. You get hydraulic car-like brakes. You get a 13 amp hour battery. Front light and rear tail light. What more could you ask for? That bike got all the premium features you need, and it's pretty enough you can take it anywhere. And nobody won't look at you funny. $11.99. You can't beat that. Talk to me till you blue in the face. That's a steal for that bike. Now I showed you the G9, and this was the GS9. Now let me show you the big boy, the big girl. I'm sorry. Let me show you the big girl. This is the mother load right here. You probably saying this look the same. Oh, no, it don't. Take a look at it. Because the bike I just showed you, let me tell you what they got in common. They both got the hydraulic brakes. They both got the suspension system, full suspension, right? And that's where they both got color displays. This display is more updated though, easier to use for the settings. But let me tell you something. Look at them 4-inch wide, 26-inch wide tires. Look at them fat tires. You can talk to me till you blue in the face. I rode this bike this morning, and I had forgotten how much of a pleasure it was to ride. Man, you talk about some fun. Ah, this bike is beautiful. And the people look at it. This bike is just beautiful. Another way to say it, this bike is beautiful. Look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at them big tires. That's the first thing people notice. Then they be looking for it. Where's the battery? Where's the controller? You don't see it. They be looking for it. Like, where's it at? The full suspension on those fat tires, oh my goodness. Putting them two together is a great combination. This has a 14.5 amp hour battery. They got the hydraulic car-like brakes. They got a 9-speed Shimano shifter. They got a 750 watt motor that peaks between 1,050 and 1,100 watts. This is the mother load. This is the mother chode. And I can get you this bike. Where you gonna find a bike with a 9-speed shifter on it? With full suspension. Let me show you the price. With the 750 watt motor. With the fat tires. Where are you going with a color display? Where are you gonna find that at? Let me get you the linky dink here real quick. Get you that linky dink. Just in case anybody interested. I know a lot of people want to spend their money on Christmas stuff. Let me give you the link here. I'm gonna give you my coupon code. I really thought about giving up on this because we haven't sold the bike in so long. But like I said, is it about ego or is it about really trying to get people to get out and get active? Let me show you what you do with the coupon. They asking $16.99. You put my coupon in, you get the bike $14.99. $14.99. That's a steal. 9-speed shifter, 750 watt motor, 14.5 amp hour battery with that's everything you need right there. All right, I squeezed it in. All right. One more thing, and y'all don't have to stay, but I played it this morning, but I was doing something, so I want to see what happened on the ride home.
You ain't getting this back. But tires, it got 20-inch 4-inch wide tires. Much riding. Oh, I didn't turn that cause the lights is on the other bike.
Hold on.
So we don't have no turn signals. So we had to roll with that. And I got the lights on the backpack. And I feel like turning them on. I don't feel like it. Let's go ahead and ride in the house. We ain't got no music. Let's go.
And y'all say y'all want daytime video. We ain't got no music though, but we on the Passalat BS6.
Y'all ready for the Wii moment? Let's hit it. Time for the Wii moment. When we get to say Wii, let's go. Time for the Wii moment.
This is that motor.
Wish there wasn't no stop sign. Wish there wasn't no stop sign.
Listen to the brakes, you don't hear them, do you? We just jumped the speed bump. You didn't see the camera joggle.
See that y'all? He got an echo trick. It's falling apart already. He got the old cheapy cheap. Tried to save a couple dollars.
Got the old cheap cheap.
I'm crying about spending $50 on a brake job. He needed his front, back. Now, as much riding as we did on Bessie, riding all over town, so, he tried to be cheap. Didn't pay off for him. Trying to be cheap. He should have used one of my coupons. But nope, he wanted to be cheap. Damn! Right in our face. That was in our face. Man, y'all, that was in our face. Man. Well, it wasn't meant to happen today, but I hope sometime during the week somebody donate and we can hit the market. just wasn't meant for today. So I got what I could get. I had to put a lot of stuff back, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We usually get Christmas donations. It just wasn't meant to be. Don't even worry about it. Matter of fact,
A light changer.
Time for the week, my man. Just wasn't meant to be. Don't even worry about it.
All right, let's watch it in real time.
Time for the week, my man.
This is an alerter. 1100 watts of power.
Uh-oh, something wrong. Okay, no it ain't.
That car cut in front of us.
Are you serious? Yep.
Look at the hydraulic. We always end up at the top. Look how close we are. Hey, that's quick. Yeah, you're quick. You ain't have no money. So they're quick. Yeah, so alrighty. I just showed y'all me riding the Pass Select GS9 Plus. Did y'all hear that motor? Y'all saw we hit 36 miles per hour on that speed test. And we were doing almost 22 miles per hour on flat ground, which I'm 275 pounds. So that's a lot of weight to haul. If you lighter in weight, it's going to fly you. So anyway, I appreciate y'all. We haven't been on the OBS in a while, and I'm getting ready to take this down. I'll see how it look, because I'm thinking about getting rid of this. This is version 27.1.3, and we were using 25.0.1, but we upgraded, and it won't let me do the 2K, so we might have to downgrade, and then maybe after we downgrade, upgrade, because it's not letting me do it on here. So I don't know what changes they made, but it sucks. But anyway, I want to see how this look. So y'all have a great day. I might go out riding today. It depends. If I get a donation, I'll head out. So I might see y'all later on today on the bike ride. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching.